Hi everybody, we're going to talk about the Talkback episode again. Let's go. Hey there, my name is Jenny and you found my channel, Senior Perspective. Like, subscribe, and share this with a friend. Does anybody ever really share these with friends? I don't think I've ever shared. Not true. There have been a couple channels in my life that I have shared. Okay, so share it with a friend.
Please share.
Little background information. I had recorded my response and review to the first 25 minutes of the Talkback episode. My computer started freaking out and working up, and so I had to chop it off and just upload that to YouTube. I'm deleting so much stuff from my computer, it's ridiculous, and I'm probably going to regret some of the stuff that I've deleted to try to make this work.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
I mean, in 2018, I bought the cheapest MacBook that they had with the lowest amount of memory because I didn't need it for anything but everyday work. And my stubbornness meant I probably spent about 8 hours plus trying to figure it out when I could have just re-recorded it.
That probably wasn't smart.
I mean, obviously, hindsight, if I would have known it was going to take that long. All right, I don't want to bore you with the minutia of my life. The bottom line is, Mama treated herself to a Christmas gift, and I have another MacBook arriving in 2 days.
All right!
But I'm probably, most likely, going to be uploading the third 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes of the Talkback episode before I air the middle 20 minutes, just because it's done. It's done. It's on my computer. I just need another computer to move other files to, so that one will free up space that it will allow it to upload. It will not upload to YouTube. It will not save somewhere else on my computer. It will not go to an external hard drive. I hate technology. I really do. Let's get something done here. All right, what we're going to talk about now is the last 20 minutes of the Talkback episode.
That doesn't surprise me.
I hope this isn't too confusing. All right.
Let's go.
So this is the point that as I'm watching it and taking notes and my brain keeps bouncing back and forth like a tennis match, that I was really trying to hone in on. This Robin is either an extremely stubborn actress who is sticking to her script no matter what, and she doesn't realize that somebody called scene, and she's just sticking with it, or she's just that stupid. There's no other way to say it. You have to be completely ignorant to be told these things and then later on say, I didn't know. I don't understand. What do you think? Honestly, I battle with myself. And whatever you write below, I'm probably going to go, you're right. And then the next person will write the opposite thing and I'll go, you're right. Because honestly, that's where I am. I really, I would love to be in her head for 10 minutes. That's it. And then get me out. Get me out of here! So on the couch, Robin turns to Cody and said, so what happened? I still don't understand. Again, either a great acting job or she truly doesn't know what's going on, which again could be the meds.
Allegedly!
It doesn't have to be stupidity, I guess. We have to throw in, there's a third option here. It could be medication. And the generic question of what happened, I don't really know what she means. What happened to our family in the macro, or what happened between you and Christine's relationship in the micro? Because we seem to talk a lot about Christine, and then instantly we're always talking about the whole family situation, which Cody will do going forward here, and it drives me nuts. I don't know what the intent of her question was at first, because how can she not understand that when Cody emotionally and physically abandons a woman that she's going to leave? I don't know how she cannot get that. Even if she doesn't leave, that she would want to leave. I mean, she doesn't get it. She didn't get it with Meri. She kept trying to keep her there the whole time. Unless it's all an act. I don't know.
She has me so confused.
Well, Cody's response is that he's not going to take any of the blame. Are we surprised? He blames it on the one house dream. That's the problem. That's what happened.
What?
We don't know if that's what happened to the family or that's what happened to Christine because we still don't know what the question "what happened" refers to, but the answer is the big house. So Cody blames it on the big house dream and how Christine didn't want it, and he asked her why all of a sudden all these sins from the past got right here in front, and I feel like I got to a point where I couldn't forgive him anymore. I'm going to read that again because, it's confusing. Cody doesn't take any blame for what happened. He blames it on his one house dream and how Christine didn't want it. And he asked Christine why.
I asked the question why, and I asked Christine the question why.
Why should you want to do one home?
Yeah.
No, we don't get the answer to that question, but Cody goes on to say, quote, "And all of a sudden, all the sins from the past got right here in front, and I feel like I got to a point where I couldn't forgive him anymore."
Yeah. And that all of a sudden, all those sins from the past all got right here in front. And I feel like I got to a point where I couldn't forgive him.
But Robin says, "Who?" "Forgive who?" And he said, "Me." And she was confused and she goes, "You couldn't forgive who?" Because the last line was, "I couldn't forgive him anymore." Apostrophe EM. Which would be a substitute for them, which would be either a plural number of people or a plural number of things, but that's okay. We're not going to nitpick this because that was the wrong word to use in the sentence, but let's go on. So after she kind of holds his feet to the fire, or she seems just very confused, like, who couldn't you forgive? I don't know. He says, he pauses. Okay, he pauses. Long pause. He's thinking. I don't know if he's thinking because he doesn't know the answer to that question, because he doesn't even remember what he said before, because I had to literally look at it and read it twice. I will insert it so that you can see.
And I feel like I got to a point where I couldn't forgive him anymore.
Who?
Me.
You could forgive who?
He's doing his rambling. And so he might have been reflecting on, like, what did I just say? Because I don't understand why he can't just give the answer at this point. This is the answer he provides. He's confused, and he says, "If we can't be one family, I got cynical about it." That's his answer. What was the question again? Cody says, "I feel like I got to a point where I couldn't forgive him anymore." Robin says, "Who?" He says, "Me." And she said, "Who couldn't you forgive?" And he says, "If we can't be one family, I got cynical about it."
Anymore.
Who?
Me.
You could forgive who?
If we can't be one family, I got cynical about it.
Just answer the question. So straightforward. Woo, the most basic question. Who, what, when, where, why, the 5 W's we teach kids when they're very small. Oh, Cody, you're killing me. You're killing me. It is so much easier for me to understand my young elementary school kids who have language disabilities than his speech. Honest to God. And let me just point out here for a second. If we can't be one family, I got cynical about it. Whoever said you couldn't be one family?
Good question.
That's completely incorrect. This is about a house. It has nothing to do with your family. Nothing. He's implying that if the whole family doesn't move under one roof, we are no longer a family. Let me just point out that it has been years since the whole family has lived under one roof. They have built houses, lived in houses for many years. They're in Vegas. And I would say they would be considered a family. Admittedly, not as close-knit as they were when they were in the Lehigh house, but the Lehigh house did not include Robin and her kids. So is Cody saying as soon as he got married, they were no longer a family, and then 10 years later, he's trying to get them to be a family again? I don't know. But I just want to point out that if there were no Robin, they would still be under the same roof, feeling like one family in Lehigh, Utah. So is this all Christine's fault? Or is it Robin's fault? Or Cody's fault? I don't know. Where does the blame lie? You let me know. I choose Cody. With a side of Robin. We cut to an interview with Christine right now, where Christine is still perplexed over the fact that Robin is not understanding the whole breakup, the whole makeup of the family, wondering if the past 12 years or however, 15 years, however long it's been, if it's all been a lie. And Christine said, we all in Vegas talked about this a lot together. We all went to counselors together as a family unit. Robin was there in the room when we discussed all of our problems and aired it all out. There's nothing she didn't know.
We talked a lot back then. We started going to counseling. We lived in Vegas, for goodness sakes. So this, I don't know, she was pretending like she didn't know, but she was there in counseling sessions.
Robin also didn't remember taking the personality test there. So either she's really dumb, not the brightest, or maybe just can't remember things past a certain period of time, or maybe this is all a ruse. It's her only out to her behavior is to say, I didn't understand what was going down.
She always acted
Confused.
It isn't. I don't know. In Janelle's interview, she says that when they lived in Vegas, she started noticing Cody gravitating more towards Robin, spending more time at Robin's house, and talking about Robin real favorably in a way that he didn't talk about the other wives.
Robin came into the family, then we moved to Vegas. Cody really started to gravitate more and more to Robin and to her house. And I would hear little things about how she was so awesome. There was a differentiation made, for sure.
So I got the implication from what she said is like the red flags started coming out right away about how he treated her different than he treated the other wives. Right from the get-go. Hello everybody, this is halfway through the episode. Thank you for sticking it out with me. Please like and subscribe if you have not done so yet. And share this on any social media platform that you follow that has to do with sister wives so other people can find out about the channel too. Thanks. Cody is talking to Robin on the couch and he says, I don't think I took into consideration that because of where we're at, we can go ahead and be separate families. I couldn't take that. Maybe I should have, but I could not take that attitude. I don't know why I used the word attitude there. Such a wrong word. Okay, this has nothing to do with attitude. This is a situation with attitude. Oh, wait. But you know when he finds a new word he hasn't used in a while, how he uses it more times? 2 more times in the same answer. Here we go. He says, I couldn't take that attitude. And if I would have just taken that attitude, maybe we'd all be okay.
But I could not take that attitude. I couldn't take that attitude. And if I would have just taken that attitude, maybe we'd all be okay. Okay.
We can go on about the misuse of the word attitude here. It's not even that big a word. A-T-T-I-T-U-D. It's only 8 letters. He couldn't accept the situation, but he's using it in a whole new Cody meaning in this sentence. Okay, I'm not going to harp on that anymore because what I do want to point out about this craziness of what he's saying about attitude, referring to this situation where he could or he could not accept the fact that the families might be living separately. He is slightly, but he is slightly, and the only time I've ever noticed, taken a little bit of responsibility here. He did have one line, And it's only probably because Robin was sitting next to him. But there's the one line where he said, "And if I would have just taken that attitude, maybe we'd all be okay." Attitude almost works in that sentence. If I would have taken that attitude of acceptance, then he could use it properly in that sentence. Maybe the rest of that sentence was implied, we'll say.
I think you're giving him a little too much credit.
Anyway, I just want to point out, I have never ever seen Cody take responsibility. I say he absolutely never takes responsibility. He's still not taking it. He's saying maybe, possibly, could have if this would have happened. Maybe situations would be different and our family would be okay. Which implies that he may have handled it inappropriately. I mean, it's not a full-out acceptance of responsibility. Like, let's not go crazy here. But it's something. Okay, moving on. Meri says that out there, she must be on social media a lot. Well, I know she is. She has her, like, drinking Fridays on Facebook where every Friday she drinks with her friends and she gets sloshed. It's kind of sad, too. She gets too drunk. She drinks too much.
In my opinion.
She slurs her speech and she's sloppy and silly like a 12-year-old who's drinking, hiding behind the bar in their parents' basement and getting silly drunk at a sleepover at night. Not that I would know. I have no doubt. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't. All right. My parents would have killed me. Never. So she says out there on social media that there is a lot of speculation on what caused the demise of their family. She said some people think that it was going public. Some people think that it was bringing Robin into the family. Some people think it was the move to Vegas. I don't think it was the move to Vegas at all. I think, if anything, that was the best thing for the family because they were all in that perfect little community there in the cul-de-sac away from the rest of the neighbors. They had their own little oasis. They still had their own spaces. I mean, it could have been perfect if Cody would have handled it properly and given equal time to each house. It would have been a great situation. Anyway, she says that she believes that it was not any one of those things, that it was a combination of all of the above, which includes Robin coming into the family, I just want to say. So indirectly, Meri gave a little dig to Robin, but I don't know if that was intentional or not. Probably not. All right, so at this point, this is what I wrote. It's what I wrote in the paper. I wrote, this is where I think Robin is really clueless, and Cody just leaves her in the dark, and he lies to her and doesn't give her full truths about what's going on with the rest of the sister wives.
Possibly.
But by the end of the season, that can't be true because she's going to see everything that we've seen. And that's because Robin turns to Cody and says, what was the thing that put an end to yours and Christine's relationship? That is a better question than Suki. I mean, she really is a better interviewer than Suki. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe we should dope her up more often. It's like truth serum coming out of her. She's kind of like, I'm just going to ask what's on my mind. So I find it interesting. I don't know if she's acting dumb here or if she just really wants to know, hey, what is the one thing? I mean, I just want to say, pick me, I know. Please, pick me, please, I know the answer, please.
But you don't know, like, you couldn't put a finger on, like, what really sort of ended it for you and Christine?
She said the straw that broke the camel's back was the situation with Isabella in New York. But leading up to that was him pulling himself away more and not seeing his kids. And then her watching what he's doing with Janelle's kids. So, do you think that's what Cody said? Bingo, you're right. He didn't say that. This is what Cody says. The one family thing was my goal.
Not again.
Once she went, I can't be one family. I went, well, then I can't really, like, it's not working for me with you.
The one family thing was my goal. Once she went, I can't be one family. I went, well, then I can't really, like, it's not working for me with you.
Oh, this is classic. This is a classic Cody, right? I mean, we could identify this from a mile away. If I gave you 20 language samples and you saw this on it, you'd be like, Cody Brown, 100%. We don't say I said or I was thinking. We say I go or I went. In this case, it was went. We're talking past tense. Once she went, I can't be one family. I went, well, then I can't really, like it's not working for me with you. First of all, I just want to say, this is such a lie that he's saying right here in front of all these cameras and to Robin.
Ballsy.
Christine never said, I don't want to be one family. She still loves the one family. She still gets together with the one family. She's having the big wedding with the whole family. She loves her family. That's completely a lie. She didn't want to move under one roof. It's about a house, not about a family. I don't know why he keeps mixing those up and why he can't separate them, especially since they were all involved in individually designing and planning their individual houses in Vegas that they all lived in for all these years. He was an active participant. He was so stoked when they found all those individual houses. He never said, we can't do this. We won't be a family anymore. This is ludicrousy. And Robin turns to him and says, she said, I can't be one family? Thank you, Robin Brown. Don't like you very much, but right here, love you. It's holding Cody's feet to the fire. It's taking his words and repeating them back to him and saying, what did you mean by this? Or did you really mean this? Or please explain this. Something that Suki doesn't know how to do. I think she doesn't understand what he's saying because he has so many word mosh in there that she just kind of moves on and accepts it as an answer. But it drives the rest of us insane.
She went, I can't be one family. I went, well, then I can't really, like, it's not working for me with you.
She said I can't be one family.
I'm going to cut that scene with Robin saying that in here because it's so good. I watched it and went, oh, what a breath of fresh air. And Cody says she was indicating that in every way. With the one house idea, she was angry about it.
She said I can't be one family.
She was indicating that in every way with the one house idea. She was angry about it.
Didn't answer the question. Talking about the house again. And now he's saying, she was implying what does he say? Indicating. She was indicating. This is what Cody always says. He has words like, that's what she meant, that's what she was indicating, that's what she was insinuating. This is how he talks about everything, because the reality is he decides in his mind what other people are thinking and then gets himself all angry and worked up about it and tells people what the other person said when they never said it. He just thinks that they think it. That's the reality. And here's a classic example of that. He said what Christine said. Let's go back. He said, the one family thing was my goal. Once she went, I can't be one family. I went, well then I can't really, like, it's not working for me with you. He said, Christine said, quote, I can't be one family. Robin says, she said, I can't be one family. And he said, well, she was indicating that in every way with the one house idea that she was angry about. House has nothing to do with the family. Nothing. Nothing. Wake up from your stupor, Robin. Please wake up. Do you see this man and his lies and his fabrication?
He's messing with her head.
There is a pattern here. Patterns of averting the truth and using words to try to get out of things and confuse people. And he seems to confuse Robin a lot. Maybe he's got her so confused she is on meds to just try to deal with him because she's been trying to figure him out and it's driven her mad. It would drive me mad. It is driving me mad. I analyze such a small amount of what he says every week. And I'm going insane. Oh boy.
I think we're all going mad.
Cody goes on and he says, and because it got so toxic, her and I, so bad.
Grammar.
Her and I started to really talk about it in depth. She unraveled my world. I mean, that could be a good thing, right? Apparently it's not. It's not in this situation. Okay, so he then says, it was just conversations. I'm not blaming her. I'm saying that it wasn't working for her, and so I started going, this polygamy thing just doesn't work. I don't know. Again, did he think that polygamy wasn't working when they were in Vegas this whole time? Was that an example of polygamy not working? It seemed like a classic example of polygamy working to me. I mean, if I was a polygamist, that's a situation I would want. I wouldn't want the Lehigh situation. Kids could still run across the street barefoot. They did. We saw the scene where Isabel got glass in her foot from running around barefoot outside. They just ran back and forth to each other's houses. It was a little utopia there. It was the epitome of polygamy working, with the exception of the fact that he spent 90% of his time in Robin's house. That's where it didn't work, but the situation and the setup was great. So because Christine doesn't want to go back to living under one roof with everybody in another state in some house that hasn't been built yet, which, by the way, the land just got paid off. It still wouldn't have even broken ground yet. Christine only has one kid left in the house, and she's 14. She's a teenager. She has got one foot out the door, too. By the time the house, this big, massive house would be built, it would be for Robin and her kids, and then the other wives each having their own individual corners.
Did they pay for it?
They paid for everything.
Meri, Christine, and Robin's kids would all be gone. It would be this huge, massive, what did he say it was, 17,000 square foot house for him and Robin and Robin's kids. But I find it interesting that he says because she doesn't want this house, he's questioning all of polygamy now, because polygamy is his faith. This is a tenet of his faith. You either believe in your faith or you don't. It's not faith if you don't have a strong, if you don't have a belief in it. That's what faith is. It's not concrete proof of anything. You make a choice to believe in something. He made a choice to believe that polygamy was going to give him higher status in heaven or something like that, something along that line. I don't know, but he believed that. But because they won't live in the same house anymore, or they won't go back to living in the same house, now all of a sudden this whole concept, his whole faith is wrong, and he's going to throw it out the door. I don't know. Most people who have real faith, when they go through trials and tribulations, they cling to it. Cody's taken the opposite road, which makes you wonder, how much did he really believe in this faith, and how much was it just a really cool idea for a 24-year-old who just got back from a mission trip and didn't get much of anything happening to take on a whole bunch of wives?
I'm just saying.
I'm not into questioning people's faith. I'm not, but I'm just looking at the outward appearance of it and giving my opinion, because that's what this channel is. It's just my senior perspective. Cody goes on, I was suffering from the loss of the vision that had been for our family, and I couldn't recorrect my direction into the vision for my family. Okay, can we just go back? This is the answer to the question, why did you and Christine break up? What caused the breakup of you and Christine? Why did the two of you, now we're not talking about the family, why did Christine leave? Why did Christine divorce you? Why are the two of you broken up? I was suffering from the loss of the vision that I had for our family, and I couldn't recorrect my direction into the vision for my family. It's redundancy in the worst way. Not even in a good way where he's repeating himself, because they don't make sense.
Because I couldn't, I was suffering from the loss of the vision that I had for our family. Yeah. And I couldn't recorrect my direction in the vision for my family.
You talk about vision and commitment. What are you talking about? I don't know.
I had a vision for my family. I was suffering because I lost that vision, and I couldn't recorrect my direction into the vision for my family. I don't know what it means. I don't think he knows what he means. Those were just words. I think he says all this and he confuses Robin so much, and she just goes, okay. I mean, it's got to be exhausting trying to figure out what he says all day. I would probably get to the point too where I would let it glass over my eyes and just like listen to every third word or every third paragraph.
You and me both.
We cut to the talking head part in episode 1 where Robin says that this seemed like it was a functioning family and she thought it was a safe place for her kids to be, which, if you go back and watch my review, made me very angry. Just gonna say, for her to say this family is not a safe environment puts all women and children who are not in safe environments at risk because their words are not going to carry any weight. If living with the Brown family is not considered a safe environment, I mean, really, what is? And so when people hear, oh, that's considered not safe, when some kid or woman is in a situation that truly is not safe and she's like, I'm not in a safe environment, it's going to be like, yeah, I know. I wasn't once either. She wasn't, they weren't, this, and yeah, life isn't safe. It waters down the definition, and that is not good. So after she says that, I love, we cut to Christine who's watching it, and Christine is not happy with those words from Robin's mouth.
Like, I thought this was a safe place for my kids to be. That's what.
She's reeling.
It was safe. It was safe. But he got favorites. Sorry.
And here she blames Cody.
He got favorites, and I got mad and frustrated, and I did nag him, and I did pick at him. Absolutely, I expected more. When you sign up for a plural family, I understand you're going to get spread thin. Believe me, I understand that. But you don't pick favorites.
I'm going to go ahead and start working on editing this one. As soon as I can get it out to you, I will start on the last 20 minutes. And I think there may be another episode that drops tonight. Oh my goodness. All right. Merry Christmas to you all. And to all, good night.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night!